There we go. Hey, Mom's here. That's awesome. Hi, Terry. We kind of talked all day, didn't we? Oh, well, here we are. Um, I'm trying to set it so that I can put your chat on the screen, but I think I have to click each one. See? There it is. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad it's showing up on chat. Just a second while I messed with everything, but I think I'm good now. Well, thanks for stopping by, you guys. It's been kind of a rough day for me. I don't know how you guys are doing. It's been kind of rough since Sunday, so I didn't think it would hit me this hard because we've already been through it once, but here we are. So yeah, here we are. So I was gonna do a little introduction if anybody joins us. Oh, I see that we've got a few out there that haven't commented yet. So if you haven't left something in the chat, please say hi. I was just going to let you know I'm Di, the bass playing mom. There is a little bit more to my life than playing bass, but that is what my YouTube channel is about, and that's my area of focus. And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I live in the Seattle area, and so when I'm talking about us going back into lockdown, and that's really, really in air quotes because I had a viewer. Oh, Vicky. Oh, I don't think I should post that. I feel bad. Yeah, this has been rough. My friend Vicky's jumped on and she's having a rough time with it too. It's been sad, and this situation, it does stink. It is a stinky situation. So, I mean, obviously there is a pandemic. I keep asking myself, like, am I depressed? Am I depressed? And it's like, well, no, there's a pandemic. So I had a hard time. I've got a video that's ready to be edited. It is about a controversial video. My mom knows what it's about. I had a video a while back that Caleb and I did, and that's my son. He is a keyboard player. He plays a little electric guitar. He also plays a little bass, and he is a great clarinet player. Anyway, he and I did a video where we destroyed a musical instrument, and not everybody appreciated that. We got some negative feedback, and there were some situations where I think we deserved it, and situations where maybe it was overblown. But I've made a video. I'm going to talk to Caleb a little bit about how he felt about it. We're talking about how it affects people in the world, you know. Vicky said I can share her comment. Yeah, she cried. I didn't know if she wanted me throwing it out there, but yeah, it is. Yeah, we're all in this terrible situation together. Oh no, Jimmy Williams, hello. How are you doing? Good to have you here. Oh, Craig Reed, thank you for coming by. Oh, all right. I'm going to post your comment. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, I really like to live stream when I'm going through it. That sounds really weird, but just being in the vacuum where you're just sitting there editing for hours, it doesn't work very good when things are spinning in my head, but getting to actually talk to you guys does help. And so it might not be the best thing for my channel, but it's the best thing for me. And sometimes you have to do that too, right? You got to do what's best for you. So, so Jimmy, tell me about yourself. Are you a musician? And you too, Craig, are you a musician too? Because I think we've all gotten hit particularly hard. So here in Washington, my mom's coaching me, which is awesome. Thank you, Mom. That's what you depend on your mom for, right? And all musicians, we depend on our mom. So, hey, Martin, welcome. Good to see you here. Make sure you chime in and let me know what's going on in your part of the world. So I'm here. Oh, Jimmy, you're a bass player. Awesome. That's great. Okay, I'm going to have lots of things to talk to you about. Hey, Martin. Good to see you. So in my part of the world, I'm in the Seattle area. So we're in Washington State, and we just had a big spike in COVID. And I was saying that when I talk about getting out of lockdown, we've never come out of phase 2. In Washington State, we're in phase 2, which just meant that a lot of our retail got to reopen, but they're under all kinds of parameters and rules and things. And our restaurants and bars were open again. Lots of rules, but they were open. And the governor made an announcement on Sunday that he was going to change all our parameters because we had a spike in COVID cases. Now, I was checking our hospital numbers. I know they're bad in Spokane. Hate to get distracted, but Craig's comment's awesome. Apparently, he's been a bass player for about 25 years, a decent guitarist and a terrible drummer. That's awesome. I tried to be a drummer once. There was a summer. My sister's a drummer. You can chime in, Terry, but there was a summer where I tried to play drums. It was not pretty, I gotta say. Now, auxiliary percussion. I'm a quality auxiliary percussionist. I was gonna see if there's anything I can grab from here. I reorganized my office. Oh yeah. So, this won't be distracting, will it? Oh, so Martin, you've been playing for 2 years? That's awesome. The world needs more girl bass players. We're so outnumbered, except in my church. It seems like there's a bunch. So I guess we run in packs. Oh, my sister chimed in. Apparently, she doesn't think she either. I haven't heard her play in a long time, so I wouldn't know. So what's going on here is that the announcement he made, I actually pulled it up on my phone so that we would be talking about the same things. But the governor did a 4-week set of restrictions, and they're going to go. One of them started last night, one starts tonight, and they go for 4 weeks. So that's through, I wrote down the date, through 12/14. And then I looked at something else while I was looking up something Vicki sent me. That's not what I wanted to talk about. So what are restrictions that hit me hard as a musician is that it said religious services are limited to 25% occupancy or no more than 200 people, whichever is fewer. Crystal's here. Awesome, Crystal. I'm glad you're here. I would like to hear what's happening in your part of the world. I'd love to hear what's happening in everybody's part of the world with this spike in COVID cases. And Terry has a bass player in her church too. So with the order, religious services, which is where I play bass, are limited to 25% occupancy and no more than 200 people, whichever is fewer, which doesn't affect me. Where our church is, our room fits 1,300, I think, right now with the chairs the way they're arranged. And we've kept it under 25% or 200 people, whatever the rule is. But here's where it hits. Oh no, it's gonna make me cry to say it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna show a comment because I can't. Okay, here we go. No choir, band, or ensemble performances, but soloists are permitted. No congregational singing. Face covering is required at all times. Weddings and funeral ceremonies can go on with limited attendance, but receptions of any size are prohibited indoors. So, hey, Crystal, I've had better days, man. Hitting our second wave here. Well, really it's our third, but our second kind of lockdown. Oh, Crystal, you're a sweetheart. This is why I have these friends. You know, this is why I went live, because sometimes you just need that. It won't let me show your, yeah, so no singing. I don't know how they're going to enforce that. How do you enforce people in masks? How do you even know that they're singing? Like, if we all stand up, we're like, oh yeah, God is awesome. How are you going to know behind the mask if I'm singing or not? I mean, I guess you can hear if the group is, but then how are you going to know, like, that one's humming? And this guy over here is playing the kazoo under his mask, so he's really in trouble. I mean, how is that going to work? I don't know how you would ever enforce it. I talked to a lieutenant in the police department yesterday. It was part of my job, and he didn't have any orders from the governor to enforce anything. I mean, I imagine, like, even the Uncle Yukon's here. Uncle Yukon's in the house. Yay. Let's see. Vicki hasn't been to indoor church in a while, but the time I went, they said, don't sing, but you can hum. Oh my gosh. How in the world you would enforce that, I don't know. So Uncle Yukon, you live in the Pacific Northwest here. Do you have some chime in about the governor's new restrictions? The one that's gonna hit all of us, musician or not. Well, okay, this one doesn't affect me. Fitness facilities and gyms. Maybe it should, but it doesn't. And so that was not breaking my heart as bad. My friends, who it's their livelihood, of course, I don't like that. It really hurts, my friends who do that for a living. But this one, restaurants and bars closed for indoor service. So we've had indoor service in restaurants and bars now for a few months, I think. And so it's going to be really different to have those closed again. Jerry and I actually went out to dinner Friday night, kind of having a feeling it was coming, and the restaurant wasn't at capacity, but it had people in it because I think they had that feeling too. Outdoor dining and to-go service permitted following current guidelines. Of course, that's easy. And then table size limited to 5 for outdoor dining, which, the table size thing, I feel for my sister because they're a family of 7. So they haven't been permitted to be in a restaurant together as a family since all this started back in March. So it's rough. Yeah, Uncle Yukon, we've got the rain and the wind here too today. So we'll see how this live stream goes. I could just lose electricity at some point, I suppose. Hey, Crystal had a comment. Yeah, I don't know why singing with a mask on couldn't be allowed, but it isn't. I think it's going to be interesting to see if they're requiring that we don't sing and we have masks on, and I said masks at all times. I know that our public speakers, like Joe Biden and the president did during their debates, did not have their masks on while they were public speaking. And our speakers in church don't have a mask on while they're public speaking or leading the music. I wonder if with the masks on at all times, do they have to keep their mask on? Do they not? And what happens if somebody takes their mask off? Like, do you tackle them? I don't know. I don't know how you enforce it without risking COVID. Yeah, Uncle Yukon, you're south of Seattle. And what did you say? You read the restrictions. They seem to be a bother to everybody. Oh, dog class. Oh, I have no idea if a dog class would be okay or not. I have no idea. But fishing. I know, Uncle Yukon, you love to go fishing. And we love your videos about fishing. I'm hoping in my husband's retirement, he gets to do some of that. Making YouTube videos about fishing. Yeah, I think the fishing didn't get affected this time, where it was affected before, which doesn't make any sense at all why they did that. But yeah, pretty much indoor stuff. It does sound like indoor stuff. I mean, I guess a congregation that was bent on singing could sing in the parking lot on their way in. I mean, I don't know if the governor could stop you for that. My mom. Oh, in the food courts. Okay, that was like the only workaround I'd come up in this whole thing, was that if you wanted to see friends, you could social distance and eat in a food court. And you could just holler to each other and have a conversation, still be 6 feet apart, not breathing on each other, eating your food, and then boom, they hit the food courts just like that. Of all the things, it's almost like they read my mind. Oh, okay. So Uncle Yukon is getting some flickerings of the electricity. Yeah, I think you have more prominent trees where you live than where I live. So, I mean, it's kind of known for that. So, well, hopefully everything's working. Hey, Craig, yeah, tackle them. Don't you think? I think that's the method. I did see a guy take his mask off last Sunday, and it did cross my mind. But he was 6 feet apart from anybody around him. I don't know. I know that this is a bad virus. I totally get it. I'm not an anti-masker unbeliever kind of person about the virus, and I get it. It's really bad, but it's not magical. It's not a super virus. I mean, It doesn't have powers. It's not all seeing or all knowing. We know God is, and he's not the virus, but it does, some of the restrictions do seem like they carry it a little bit too far. Say anything about fishing, just the mask. What did it say about outdoor athletics? Uncle Yukon, can you remind me? And the grocery store at max of 25 capacity. I saw that the retailers were being affected. My son works for a chain of music stores, and their stores are really big inside. So I don't think they're ever at 25% capacity. It's not Guitar Center, but if you've been in a Guitar Center, like, are they really ever at 25% capacity? I'm not really sure, because even a really busy store has a lot of people pretty spread out. So I'm thinking our music stores might be okay. His chain hasn't been able to reopen every store yet. They still have stores that are closed because they just can't bring in enough money right now. They make a lot of their money off of rental instruments and teaching band, middle schoolers on Zoom. It just sounds rough. It just sounds rough. A lot far. Yeah, my 2 cents. Thank you, Vic. Safeway and another store are already making rules, a max of 1 toilet roll package. Okay. This is not music related, but it is human being related. Let's talk about toilet paper. Let's talk just for a second. We're just going to digress into toilet paper for a second, since it's such a big topic. I see people are getting ornaments this year. I'm going to put a tree up so that when I live stream or I go on Zoom and I have meetings at work, there'll be a Christmas tree in my office. I don't know why. We might as well start decorating for the holidays on our Zoom calls at this point. So the toilet paper. People keep asking me, what's the deal with toilet paper? And, if you work in a restaurant and most of the time you do your business at the restaurant, you would use up toilet paper at the restaurant. Now, if your restaurant is shut down because they don't have a seating area and you're doing your business at home, you're going to need more toilet paper at home. But the way that toilet paper is manufactured, it's not the same machines that make the little rolls that we buy, the Charmin or whatever, and the great big rolls that you have at work that are in those big dispensers. And so they can't magically move the toilet paper from retail to home use. And so that's why the shortage of toilet paper, because everybody is doing their business at home. Anyway, that mystery solved. Why that's the thing. Hopefully no one will make runs on water bottles this time. The runs on water bottles. Are you guys still there? Sorry about that. I touched a button trying to look at your chat and it kicked me out. So hopefully you're all still there. I see 13, so it looks like it lost me, not anybody else. So we're still in business. I mean, you can't do a live stream without technical difficulties. That's part of the deal, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to catch up on the chat here. Crystal, you said, yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it won't be around for years. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're getting closer on the inoculation, and some people will do that, just like some people do the flu. And then also the testing is getting quicker, and hopefully it'll get less expensive. I think as people can test more, that makes a lot of freedom. My mom and my sister and I, we all went on a vacation together. We just tested first. It's $130 at Costco, though. It needs to get a little cheaper. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, music stores seem pretty easy to be safe in. I don't know if blowing through the instruments It's the best plan right now. That would be the only thing, like maybe playing the pianos and the drums, but maybe not sweating and breathing a lot when you play drums. I don't know, but I need the music stores to be open because I like mentally can't handle it when the store's open. Even if I'm not going there, just the thought that something could break and I couldn't fix it by going to the music store just gives me anxiety. Other musicians, do you feel the same way? Like, does it make you anxious? We played a gig in Ocean Shores, which is on the Washington coast, where I live in Washington State. It's, I don't know if my hand is backwards or not, but it's down in this part, down in the Puget Sound. And the coast is out here, and we went and played a gig out on the coast, and there was no music store. And we got there, and we didn't have a hi-hat. Oops, somebody forgot to load it up from the gig the night before. So we ended up, they had to drive back to Aberdeen, which is the home of Kurt Cobain. But anyway, they ended up having to drive back to Aberdeen to go and buy a hi-hat, play it, and return it. Hopefully they kept it. They fell in love with that hi-hat. But that's a pain when you don't have a music store where you're at. Yes, Crystal, people are going crazy with the toilet paper again. So that's why I thought I'd talk about it for a second. The other thing I always wondered about the toilet paper, like, did no one ever think of the fact that you could use a paper towel or a Kleenex or a napkin or the Sears Roebuck calendar or catalog? Like, seriously, did they never think there was anything else they could use as toilet paper? I think it's just kind of funny that we have to have like this thing that's toilet paper. That's not how I grew up. I didn't grow up like in the outhouse, but we were creative if we ran out of toilet paper. All right, what's Uncle Yukon say? How do you clean a trumpet so the next renter isn't worried about catching something? I think you'd quarantine the trumpet, right? So you would clean it really good, lots of alcohol and all of those things, and then put it away for a couple weeks. Because don't they think that the virus dies off in a couple weeks on surfaces? And then just rent it out after that time lapsed. So I think it's pretty safe. I just want to know how you teach someone to play trumpet with other people over Zoom. Because isn't there a lag? There's a lag on here. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. If someone's a music teacher, you can teach me. Oh, I got it open. Beautiful. Let's see. Uncle Yukon. It all ties together, doesn't it? It does. Laughing, Uncle Yukon. Yeah, Uncle Yukon, meet Vicky. You guys don't live too far apart. Vicky's brother used to live in where Uncle. Funny. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry I went away there for a second. I just bumped something and it made me go away, but it didn't disconnect, thank goodness. Craig says he could find 10 things he could use as toilet paper. Maybe it's the musicians. We're more creative. That's a different kind of creativity. Oh, so we've been poor, right? Because as long as you're a musician, you can be guaranteed to waste all of your money, you know, on gear. Poverty room pride. It wasn't just poverty. I mean, we didn't go to the store as often as we should have either. And we were a little disorganized. Uncle Yukon says, yeah, great. Great. I think we're caught up on comments until again. Let's see. Vicky says, a friend whose daughter's in high school band, they're in person, big circles of individual space on the football field, not perfect, but thing. Yeah, outside. Now, Vicky and I were in band together. We went to a really small high school in South Seattle. Really, really small. My mom and Terry can attest to it. Oh, Uncle Yukon, you know, my high school was Foster High School. It was by South Center. And it was the South Central School District then. It's now the Tukwila School District. So you can tell the booming metropolis of Tukwila, it was a tiny, tiny school in a tiny, tiny district. And so we did not have, this is a band story, we did not have enough kids to have a marching band. I played flute during football season. I played bass during basketball season because I'm smart and I don't want to haul an amplifier out onto the football field. Pushing it down the hallway into the gym for a basketball game, much easier. So I made a deal with the other bass player and picked the season I wanted. Also, we had a championship basketball team, so I got to play in playoffs and all of that, and in finals and at state, which you didn't get to do with our crummy football team. No offense to our football team. They were small. So going to a tiny high school, we did not have a marching band because we didn't have enough kids. I mean, what would we make? A fish? That was a South Smith joke. Our first band teacher always said, what are we going to do? Make a fish? Because really, there just weren't enough kids. And so our senior year of high school, our band director decided that we should have a formation, that we should march, not a marching, but a formation for a halftime show. Now, mind you, we're in the Pacific Northwest. So, of course, what formation does he have us be? It's the 80s. So we had to dress all in neon, and we were, get ready for it, Mount St. Helens. He had us in the formation of sort of a triangle thing. And then we would go and everyone would blow on their instrument and the center and explode out. We got invited to other high schools to come do it because we were in such a small league that nobody had that. Not even that. So, yep, that goes out to Steve Laws. He let us go out and be a formation our senior year of high school. So it was ridiculous, but fun. And almost COVID compliant, right? Since that's what we're talking about. Let's catch up on the chat. Let's see. Crystal says, you definitely play your ukulele and keyboard if you go into another lockdown in Canada. Yeah, I think Canada's headed that way, aren't they? Or is that depend on what province you're in? It sounded like they were headed in that direction. I can't believe the border's still closed. My husband and I were going through some gift cards and found some Canadian money. We'd planned a trip to Canada we never went on. And still have Canadian money here. We'd love to go to Canada. We live particularly close to Vancouver and Victoria, which are just beautiful locations, but they got that border locked down tight, and I don't really blame them. Now, my son also plays a really good ukulele. I forgot to mention that when I ran through his instruments. All Massatians are poor. Oh, all musicians. Yeah, all musicians are poor. That's just part of being a musician because you spend all your stuff on musical instruments. Craig, I'm just saying that coffee filters can have multiple uses. Oh, Craig, I'm so glad you decided to turn up today. You guys, you made me laugh. I didn't think I was going to laugh today. I haven't laughed at work. I'm having a hard time smiling. I had to go into the office today. I'm working from home the rest of the week, but I was in the office today. And there was no smiling from me, but you have actually made me laugh out loud, Craig. I love that. You know, that's the thing about a coffee filter. Not only does it have a multitude of uses, but it can be used a multitude of times. You know, you can kind of recycle. Let's see. Okay, definitely potty humor is called for right now. Vicky, the Mount St. Helens spectacle. She was part of it in high school with me. So much ridiculousness. Las Plumas in Orville, California. Oh, was that your high school? I thought maybe it was the plumes coming out of the mountain. It's not in English, Diana. That's awesome. Marie is in the house. Awesome. My long time YouTube friend Marie is here. That's another trip. Joel and I are going to make it to Portland when this is over. I have a friend, Amy from YouTube, that lives just north of Portland, and I have Marie in Portland, and we need to get down there. We have had a trip planned in our minds for a very, very long time, but it is on the canceled list. There was a sketch that I put up on Facebook that showed the person marking their calendar just canceled. And that trip to Portland is part of the canceled stuff, but it's going to happen. And Marie, you did awesome in your interview with Amara. She did a virtual trip. to Portland, and it just, I mean, I was homesick for a place I've never lived. I was just missing it. Um, let's see. Oh my gosh, I've skipped so many chat here. Let's see, you guys are keeping me busy. Craig Reed, I used those in my homemade mask. Then they could be used for toilet paper. Well, my mom's been sewing a lot of masks. Could she sew something we could use as toilet paper? I mean, you'd have to rewash it, but it seems like a good use of, no, it doesn't. Oh, Vicky. We got to be swirling ash clouds. We did when we marched on the football field and we're Mount St. Helens. Well, I wouldn't call it marching. Stepped onto the football field and we're Mount St. Helens in high school. A very northwesternly thing to be. Let's see. Uncle Yukon, recycling is a beautiful thing. Just don't use it for coffee after that. No, please don't. Please don't. I watched the second Mount St. Helens eruption. Oh, very cool. Very cool, Uncle Yukon. I saw the big one. I was not there for it, but it did rain ash all over my house and all over our car. And we went on a trip that summer and had to put pantyhose on the air intake so that it didn't suck ash into the car. I was hoping that they would be open. Yeah, Crystal, I was hoping that Canada would be open. Boy, so many trips in my future when this thing is over. We got some laughs. Let's see. Glad we put a smile on your face after a trying week. It is, and I keep, the thing is, Craig, I think that I'm like, fine. Like, I was supposed to play on Friday. I got the text today. I have the text. We were having what they call Rooted Celebration, which is the end of our small groups. And I'm actually in one of the small groups. And so mine was a Zoom group. And so playing and then going and getting on the Zoom was going to be a big pain. And I had to learn the set and I hadn't practiced yet. So I needed to do a whole bunch of practicing. And then the text came today and I knew that they were thinking about all this stuff since Sunday. And it said, I just wanted to let you know that we had changes for our Rooted Celebration this Friday night due to new guidelines. You get the night off now, as we'll just be having one soloist and he will be accompanying himself, which meets the guidelines. Thanks for being so willing and thanks for being flexible with us. And I thought I'd be fine. It's okay. And I'm not fine. I think the thing is, and everybody can relate to this, I'm sure, musician or not, you can relate, is that the people that I play music with aren't just people, they're my friends. And so when we're not playing, we don't see each other. And that's a hard thing. My son Caleb's in 2 bands. And one of his bands, they have been recording during quarantine. And so they decided that they'd be their own pod. And those were the only people they were going to exposed with. They wear masks and practice in a garage, not a garage, in a barn, I think. And he just, they've been recording and they did a couple gigs that were like kind of like live feed gigs, a Twitch gig and another one on YouTube. And now they're back to recording. And so that just gets their mind off the fact that they're not performing. But I have friends that are full-time buskers. And it's been up and down on whether they've been allowed to busk and not having the crowd there. I mean, one of my friends is literally a busker at Pike Place Market. Can you think of a job that's more Seattle than being a street musician at Pike Place Market? Like that's like out of a movie or something, or central casting. And he hasn't, been able to work steadily. I hope his unemployment benefits are good because that's just rough. I was in Billings, Montana before they got the virus back in August, and there was a busker, and I over tipped him, and my husband was just kind of giving me a look, and I'm like, these are hard times. This is not a great time to be a musician. Like, this is the time that you over tip the waitress, you over tip just please be a blessing to the people around you that are going through this. I know that, One of my sons got his hours cut 8 hours a week. And so unemployment's made up for that. And he's been just fine. But my other son, he got like 15 hours a week cut, and unemployment hasn't kept up with his expenses. And so it's been really rough. So, you know, we just got to think about all the people that are out there having a hard time. And if you're financially okay through this, then, you know, kudos to you, but make sure that you share. Like, you know, you can't do enough right now to just be generous. Now is a great time to just be like the most generous version of yourself. Even if you have to go back to be kind of bah humbug like I am today, just to be thinking, I've got to be generous, I've got to be generous is just, it's a great mindset right now because we all got to take care of each other, right? I know we're all in this together, but no, I mean, like really, like everybody's hurting. And that's why I wanted to talk to you guys tonight, because I knew you would be feeling it too. Like it wouldn't be just me going, oh, I don't get to play my gig on Friday. Like, I know there's bigger problems. Like people are in the hospital. I get it. Like that, I'm not demeaning any of that. And I hope nobody takes it that I'm disrespecting any of that whatsoever. I just, you know, it's a lot, right? Can we all agree that it's just a lot? All right, here we go. Oh, my spine sucks. Hey, I figured out musician. It took me a second. You can spell musician good enough for a spell check to find it. That's the story of my life. I'm a phonetic speller. It's not pretty. Oh, Marie and Uncle Yukon are saying hi. Yeah, aren't you guys both on Joel's live streams? I think so. Jerry's here. Jerry Beal. Okay, we'll get to you. Sorry, I'm going through these comments in order. Oh no, these are so many. Yes, Marie, that trip to Portland is going to be fun when it happens. And you're going to take me to the parks, because the only time I've been in Portland in recent history was in the middle of winter, and it was literally 25 degrees. And I got a staph infection in my nose and had to go home. So I'm going to come into Portland when the weather's good, and we're going to go to all your parks. You hike a lot. I'm not a hiker. I'm going to sit on a bench and breather. So you might have to sit on a bench and breathe with me. Our trip to Yellowstone, my husband's like, we'll go on hikes and stuff. And I was like, I need to find a restroom. And then we went on this little walk, and I was like, it was a long hike. And my husband's like, no, it wasn't. And I was literally like this. I'm going to see if this camera will get it or not. But I was doing this thing. And he's saying it's not a hike. And there's this guy walking behind me, and he's going, and I said, I'll get out of your way. I'm sorry. I've been working from home for 4 months. It's literally 226 steps I'm getting in a day. He goes, I don't have an excuse. I'm just fat. At least we're all keeping our sense of humor about it. What's this about Dantix? Dantix Keith says happy. Yeah, why don't I throw out a couple plugs, okay? Marie Winton is a YouTuber, and she goes on adventures, and she creates scarves and outfits and for dogs, and then creates catnip packets for cats, and she has kind of a gothic theme, and she does a lot of Harry Potter stuff. She does a lot of fairs and festivals, so I'm wondering if she's okay. So Marie, let me know how you're doing with not having your conventions and your fairs and stuff. But you should check out her YouTube channel. It is Marie Winton, so it's easy to find. Our friend Dan, he's known as RFS Dan on YouTube. He has a channel. He is posting 3 times a week. Dan and I started YouTube about the same time, and our channels are close to the same size. But in recent weeks, he's kicking my butt because he is posting 3 times a week. And so he's doing some amazing stuff. Dantix is his game show that's on every Saturday night. His girlfriend Crystal is posting now every Friday night because she's going live doing baking, and I'm getting excited. It's pumpkin roll next week, and she totally lets you do gluten-free if you feel like it, or change the recipe to whatever you need. So, but you know, my Friday night is occupied. Oh well. And then who else? Well, Uncle Yukon has a YouTube channel, so you gotta check out Uncle Yukon's channel. He has a husky that is on his channel, as well as fishing videos and other adventures, I think. You know, you guys elaborate in the comments. Anything you want said about your channel, go ahead and put it in the chat, because I can pop the chat up here now. Bobby Guest is in the house. Hey, Bobby, how are you doing? Hey, from Memphis. Bobby, you're a musician too. How are you doing? Have they made more restrictions on you guys lately? Have you gotten the chance to play since the whole COVID outbreak or not? Let me know. I'd really love to hear how you're doing. Marie. Oh, yeah, our friend Amara. Amara in Seattle's her YouTube channel. She did a great job on her virtual trip. My mom is not sewing toilet paper. I didn't think you were going to go for that idea. Oh, Uncle Yukon's been working on editing a video. Yeah. I am going to be outsourcing some editing soon. I'm hoping. I'm trying to get Dropbox to do what I need it to do. My son Caleb is a man of many talents, and I think he's going to end up helping me out with some editing, because I cannot get caught up. I have this for this Real channel, I'm editing and posting in real time. So I usually shoot a video on Monday and post it on Tuesday. I've just got this huge edit that's going to take me a couple weeks that I'm working on. And then my other channel, the Diana Beal channel, I am a year behind in vlogs. Yeah, so I've got some catch up to do on that channel. Let's see. Bandanas, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Bandanas is a TP option. See, that's what I've been hitting my mom up to make, is bandanas into face masks, so I can have them whatever color matches my outfit. Because I have taken on the face mask as another piece of costuming, dressing, whatever. And so whatever I have has to match exactly. Oh, Vegas trip. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So everyone who loves music, Vicky and I had tickets to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I don't think she's ever been to Vegas. We're going to be Vegas novices. The two of us were going to see Gwen Stefani in residency in Vegas. We had airplane tickets and a hotel and a rental car and the whole thing for the first week of May 2020. Canceled. Now Gwen is just recording stuff and with Blake in Oklahoma, and now filming Blind. What's the name of the show? Oh, Live. Do you guys see how much I edit out? Yeah, she's The Voice. She's filming The Voice as long as they can. I don't know what's going to happen in California too. Sounds like they could go down into lockdown more. Craig, I tried cloth diapers with my son for a while. You do not want to experiment with washable toilet paper. Pampers 100%. That was unexpected. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe you don't want to experiment with washable. Hey, and there's Jerry Beal. I like being locked down with you. Oh, look at that. He is lying. We've been locked in the house together for 8 months. And he hasn't even been able to go on a hike because I'm doing that thing. Poor guy. Oh, poor thing. Love you, honey. Wonder if you're still on. I bet you got bored and went to something else. We've been on for a long time. I'm going to get to these comments and we're going to wrap it up. I had notes. In case nobody came. Uncle Yukon. Oh, he's still working on the dog's birthday video. Awesome. Loki the Siberian. We got another Canadian in the house. Hey, how you doing, Steve? I've seen my 90-year-old grandparents do all this. Oh, ouch. That hurts. Dang. Make sure you check out the Loki the Siberian YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been hard with family. I have seen my sister one time since this happened, and she has a family of 7, and we haven't seen them. We're trying to figure something out, but we'll be defying the governor's order. We're outlaws, but we'll do it in a safe way. Craig, let's see. When I get upset and frustrated with COVID, world. I try to count my blessings. I've been sick. I haven't been sick. I haven't lost anyone. Been able to keep paying my bills. Exactly, Craig. That is a really, really great attitude. That's the attitude I need to adopt. It's hard to keep it up for so long, I think. Like I can be in that mindset for a couple weeks and then it starts to creep in again. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Anybody else have any words of wisdom? That'd be great. Hey, Roberto, how are you doing? Do bass players have frustrating issues with their basses nuts as guitars do? I've been teaching my guitar tech how to make one properly. No, not really. You're talking about this part of the bass, right? I just so happen to have one here. I should have put it closer. You're talking about this right here, right? Isn't that the nut on a guitar? You'll have to clarify for me because I'm not as good at my parts. Like I point at them. I don't know what their names are. I think it's this, but no, I've never had any problems. But you know, mechanically, it's a bit different because the strings are so big. I would imagine they kind of want to fly out of it. Also, if you really have to string the bass correctly, you have to string it so that the wires feed down, so the strings are down, so that when they come, see this pushes it down and forces it over the nut. But then on this side, you got to make sure you get it flat enough, or it would pop out. Is that what you're talking about? You'll have to enlighten me because, like I said, I'm much better at pointing at it than I'm knowing what it's called. So, I done passed something. All right. Yes. Okay. Sorry guys, I got lost. Yeah, it's been a tough year for a lot tougher for a lot more people. Yeah, I know. I know somebody that lost somebody to COVID. I know a lot people that have been sick for months and months. People have been in the hospital for all kinds of time. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, it has been a really tough time for people, and I wasn't trying to diminish any of that. It's not my personal experience, and so it's hard for me to relate as much. I am a sick person, so I understand being sick, and I have that underlying medical condition fear that, you know, older folks and people with diabetes have and stuff too. So I don't want to get sick. I just had to have an MRI on Saturday. I had it at 5 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. There was no one in the hospital, like dream MRI situation to avoid the COVID and all the other germs. I don't want to get the flu this year. That doesn't sound like fun. I'm washing my hands, not because of COVID. I don't want to get salmonella or E. coli or any of those things. I've had E. coli and it was miserable. Let's see, Crystal. 2020's been crazy. I hope 2021 is better. Yes. You know, you always hope the next relationship's better. So let's hope 2021 goes better. Yeah, thanks for counting your blessings, Roberto. Craig, I mean. Thanks, Craig. Vicky, just because someone has bigger, tougher problems doesn't make yours or mine less big or tough. There's enough hard stuff to go around these days. Yeah, there is. It's true. I'm just really grateful that they reopened hospitals and clinics and I can keep up with my regular appointments because I wasn't, sorry, I don't know how to hold this. I wasn't able to keep up with them in the early days of COVID, and that was really scaring me. And so I'm so glad, and I'm sure some of you understand what it is to have other medical conditions you need to treat. I mean, even if you're just a person who always goes to the chiropractor and they were closed for 3 months, like that's miserable. My dentist was down for 2 months. He couldn't make his rent. Like, these are small businesses a lot of the time. And even the University of Washington, that has headed up the testing for the United States, has really been the benchmark. They're laying off 4,000 employees because people stopped getting their medical care done. They just postponed it till the thing is over. I have see the bump? I have a cyst in my thumb, and I went to the doctor. I went to the surgeon when things opened up again, and he looked at it, and he said, yeah, you could take it out. And I said, let's do that later. I don't want to get it taken out in the middle of COVID and have to go back and get exposed every time I go into the doctor's office. I'll just do it when it's over. Well, that's exactly why these professionals are really hurting financially, is people making those decisions. But I have to think of my health first. I can't think of the financial well-being of the hand doctor first, which is sad, but it's the truth of the matter. Let's see. Oh, and Joe the Geek does do his live stream at 2 o'clock on Sundays. Inevitably, I come home from playing bass at church and fall asleep. But I was doing really good at getting onto Joel's live stream. He unboxed Archie McPhee box, which is a throwback. We did that years ago. He also plays Mad Libs and talks about comic books and everything geek. So don't miss Joel Geek. And let's see. Oh, okay, Marie, I've been to Multnomah Falls. Since we've been talking about peeing. When I was a little girl, my dad took me up to Multnomah Falls. I probably wasn't that little. I was probably like 9. And he took me up to Multnomah Falls. And I did that thing that girls do where like you look at the water and you think, oh man, I really gotta go. And I kept looking at the falls and thinking, I really, really gotta go. But of course the bathrooms are at the bottom. So he's trying to get me down the hill back to my mom in the bathroom and everything. And finally he says, fine. And he pulls me off into the woods off the trail at Multnomah Falls. And I peed all over my shoes. This is the beauty of a live stream. You get everything's raw. Oh no. All right, let's see. The restrooms, lady behind the tree. Yeah, exactly. That ties right into that. Yeah, Multnomah Falls is a hike. Respectively, okay, Craig, I'm bummed about missing a show or event that pales in comparison to someone who has lost a loved one, their job, or their home. Absolutely. 110% if that's even a thing. One of my last shows before COVID in November of last year, I went and saw, oh, now you can see all my stuff that I'm storing in the closet. Saw We the Kings in November. Charles Trippey's a big vlogger, and I wanted to get out to see him in the band. And of course, I don't know, we've all been kind of on a pop punk thing since the governor's announcement. I guess all that emo music is really helpful right now. So yes, I totally get that it pales in comparison. I'm really grateful that my family has been untouched at this point. It is completely a blessing. I don't diminish that at all. I just miss some stuff, man. I really do miss some things. Marie, I go on adventures. This year's been challenging. I've been way more creative at home. Yeah. You do neat stuff at home, so that's always interesting. Crystal, you got this, Di. Your channel will be better soon, just when you can. Yeah. Okay, guys, you came into the live stream, so get the announcements. Okay. Back at NAMM, which is the National Association of Music Merchants, was the convention that I went to back in January of 2020, right before COVID hit. I remember walking around. NAMM has 115,000 people at it. And kept thinking, boy, that's a lot of germs if the virus was here. Anyway, NAMM is virtual this year, needless to say. But I made some connections with a brand at NAMM. Really good connections with the brand. And then everything fell through. Like they weren't even open. So I couldn't work those connections or any of that stuff. And they reached out to me and they're sending me a piece of gear. They didn't even ask me to do a video on it or anything. But of course, I'm going to do, 5 or 10 videos on it. But they are sending me a new piece of gear. So we're going to do an unboxing. And as soon as I get it, it was going to take a while because, of course, shipments, it's coming from China and shipments are all weird timing and everything. But I do have a new piece of gear coming. I'll have to hashtag sponsored all of those videos, but please don't just like look at them and say, oh, I'm not going to watch it because it's sponsored. It's sponsored in that they sent me the gear for free, but I've made a ton of content for them. And so it's a fair exchange and I love their gear. So it's going to be great. I'm so excited and we'll have something new to talk about. Oh, his dog's a Malamute, not a Husky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. You know, I think in person, it'd be really easy to tell a Malamute from a Husky because they're ginormous. But on video, sometimes it's hard for me to tell. I'm not that good at it yet. I don't own a Husky. I'm just a fan. And so, yeah, one of my other friends, Camille, her channel is Mealer Husky on YouTube. And she has 2 Huskies. She brought them to Seattle. We got to have a really COVID-safe hangout at the Seattle Center. And I got to be with Phoenix and Griffin, her 2 dogs, and they were awesome. I love Huskies. I am so allergic. I would never be able to own one. I would just be sniffling all day and taking a lot of Benadryl. So yeah, there will be no Huskies in my house, but I love them, and sorry that I would confuse them with a Malamute. Our friend Jessica Hatch, who just hit 1 million subscribers on her channel, Gone to the Snow Dogs, she has Huskies, but they look like Malamutes because she's really short. You never realize how small the dogs are. I got to meet the dogs in person, and they're very small in person, but they seem so big next to her on camera. That's the thing when your friends are on YouTube, you know, you don't get the perspective of their pets. Marie's doing okay. She misses vending events. I thought so in conventions. I usually do photo booth photography. Of course you do, at events throughout the year, but there's been no events, so that's a bummer. Yeah, even when we were in Seattle together last time, we just ended up at the Wooden Boat Festival by accident. And not having those events is seriously a bummer. I totally get it. Here's Uncle Yukon. Alaska's an Alaskan Malamute boy dog, 1-year-old today. Oh, Uncle Yukon. Is your dog a teenager? Because Huskies go through a little bit of a thing. I'm learning so much about dogs that I never knew. But a teenage Husky is sort of a velociraptor. Do teenage Malamutes go through a velociraptor stage? I mean, certainly I think more like a toddler, because I remember having a toddler and everything went into the VCR, everything went into their mouth, there was lots of tantruming, and I get the feeling that that is a lot of what, non-puppy, non-fully grown adult Husky owners go through. Do Malamute owners go through the same thing? Yeah, I'm really curious. Oh, Loki the Savior, you're behind too. I know. I'm in a bottomless pit. My only hope is to contract out, I think, at this point. Vicky's never been to Vegas. I thought so. Yes, we had House of Blues and Cirque du Soleil tickets too. And Vicky talked the airline out of refunding her ticket, and I did not. So mine expires in June. So hopefully they'll extend it. They've been offering for me to turn it into frequent flyer miles, but it's hard to imagine doing anything frequently right now. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. They're asking people not to use the airport and go see relatives. It's not an edict, but they're asking people to not do it. Marie Winston was going to Adam Lambert. I know that you love him. Adam Lambert Vegas show at the Venetian in April, but canceled. Sad face. No kidding. Yeah, I think we all have a list of our canceled events. Oh, thank you, Crystal. I can't stay on too much longer. I actually have a Zoom meeting at 6, so I've got about an hour left. I will not go that long. I'm not going to hold you guys hostage, but I do want to read your things. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, I know. I'm so glad I got to meet Mealer's dogs, and I got to meet Jessica's dogs. So glad. He'll be a teen for the next year. Oh, so it is true. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. I'm fascinated with Malamute. So when this is over, Uncle Yukon, I'm going to be making a trip down. I want to see this. I just take a lot of Benadryl and have a good time. Both times I've made my friend Joel drive because I knew I was all rummy on Benadryl. You can't trust yourself to drive home on Benadryl, but we'll have to make a trip down. Maybe go to, can you take dogs to Coulon, to Jean Coulon Park? That would be really fun. Yeah, I would love to spend some time with your Malamute. I'm fascinated by how big they are. I just think it's awesome. Let's see. Velociraptor for another year. Yes, absolutely. They're just sort of leggy and attacking in a good way. Hopefully when this is over, we can have a big meetup and an expo. Yes, that was the other thing. I had planned to go to PetCon this year. I think I had my mom almost convinced to go with me to go to Chicago because she loves Chicago. And I was going to go to PetCon and help Jess run her booth, you know, because she basically does people take their photos with her and her dogs. And I was going to help with anything I could. Dan was going to go out, and it just evaporated, didn't it? Not a thing. Music's been a blessing this year. It's just been crazy. That is for sure. Music has been so necessary. I would love for you guys in the comments to say what some of the songs are that have really helped you through this time. If they're throwbacks, if they're new, that would be really great. Tell me about some great music that's helping you get through this, because this has been a crazy year. Oh, Marie, you were supposed to go to Disneyland. I know you love Disney. Everything got refunded except the park passes. They won't refund, and they say they'll be good at later dates. Yeah, I know they keep extending people's annual passes too. We have a loved one that works for Disney, and it's impacted his work too. It's a tough time for Disney. And you know, I was never really interested in Disney until last year in October when we went to Disneyland after Vid Summit with Jess and Dan and Mealer and a ton of our other friends, Matt Shep. Check out Meet Matt Shep. Lots of advice for guys. And we had such a good time at Disney. Going with adults is totally different than going to Disney with kids. Night and day. And we had such a good time. And as we were leaving, you know, we only did Disneyland proper. And as we were, you know, Magic Kingdom. And as we were leaving, Jess pointed over at California Adventure and said, next year, California Adventure. So that was supposed to be this year. So hopefully they moved Vid Summit to May. So if May activities are on, maybe I will get to California Adventure. We'll see. No dogs at Jean Coulon. Okay, well, that's fair. It's a very busy park, but there's lots of other parks down there. Any other park in Renton? Yeah. Yeah, Uncle Yukon too. Not allowed there. That's so funny that you guys know. I guess it would make sense if you have a dog. But it's crazy. We went to Toronto. Oh, it was crazy. We went to the Toronto Pet Expo. I bet it was. I would love to go to Toronto. That sounds better. I know they like to go to the one at, I forget the name of it. They go to the one in Detroit. Doesn't seem like the safest outing in the world to me. I don't know why, but yeah. Who would know? Musicians and pet expos. But Jess is a huge music fan. She really likes grunge. She's a huge fan of Nirvana. And so there's a little Seattle tie-in that we have between dogs and basses. Any other park in Renton except Coulon and Kennydale? Okay, awesome. Well, you guys will have to do some scouting for me. Oldies but goodies are always great. Real rock and roll. Yes. I'm always glad when real rock and roll makes a comeback. I think maybe that's why I'm kind of stuck in some emo days, because you had real rock and roll during that time. I mean, not all of it, but some of it was. You know, Good Charlotte and Blink-182 and all of those bands. And so I do love some real rock and roll. Reliant K. Yeah, real rock and roll. Is it too early for Christmas music? I would like to hear you all chime in. I will get your comment. Is it too early for Christmas music? My vote is no, that it is not too early for Christmas music. I don't think it's too early for a Christmas tree. I don't think it is too early for anything Christmas, because if we're putting up with this and going through this and people are suffering like that, let's do whatever we can to lighten the mood. I would say do whatever makes you happy, but people start to do some really weird stuff if you say that. You don't know what's going to make somebody happy, but you know, I would say we can do better. You can do Christmas music if you want to. Arcade Snow Dogs, nice to see you here. Yes, and our conversation turned to dogs, so How interesting, but good timing that you came by. The small park next to Boeing be good, right on the river. Oh yeah, and I could go to Fry because I like to look at electronics. Isn't that the name of the place? Is Fry? We don't have a Fry up here. The Arcade Snow Dogs. Next year we'll make it happen. Yes, next year we're going to make all these things happen, right? Dejan Campbell, thank you for being with us. Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. That is a great, great song. Isn't Power of Love from Back to the Future? I think it is. Yeah, don't go to 2020. Do not program that in the DeLorean under any circumstance. But Huey Lewis and the News, that is good old rock and roll. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we're all missing each other right now, aren't we? Partners to Boeing, yep, we got that. Novi, thank you. The Pet Expo in Detroit is called Novi. Yes, I considered Novi, but it's pretty close to Vid Summit in the fall, and so I wasn't looking for another fall conference. I don't know. I think you guys are getting all the scoop. You're getting all the scoop. So, you know, Jerry and I are thinking about getting a trailer so that we can travel more. They're really expensive right now because everybody's thinking about getting a trailer, but they're going to get bored of them. When their trailers become teenagers, then we can buy them. They're more than a year old. Anyway, we're thinking about getting a trailer, and he said that we could go around the country and go to music festivals. That would make some fun videos. That would be really fun. I would like to go around the country and see different musician friends and get to play with them, like play on their teams at their churches. I think that would be really fun. I would like to go see all my YouTube friends, you know, plan out a really cool trip. So maybe that's coming down the road. Let's hope. Let's hope. My gosh, everything's about hope right now. Yes. Yes, Novi. Thanks, guys, for your help with that. Oh, shoot. Now I've lost my spot again. They made this thing so you could throw the comments up here, but then it's really hard to operate. I've got to get the mouse set up for this. When will we do another live? I am not sure. It really hurt my analytics when I was doing live before because the counts were so low. I don't want to hurt my channel by doing the lives, and I do have another video coming out on Tuesday. My schedule is pretty much Tuesdays. So I will do my best to think of a good time for us to live and what we can talk about. This was really a trending topic. If you watch Rick Beato, he'll go live when stuff like this happens. And I think his Everything Music channel is really a channel that I admire. And I got to meet him at NAMM. But anyway, any Rick Beato fans out there? So hopefully I can figure out a schedule and a topic where going live will be good for my channel and not hurt my channel, if that makes sense. So you guys can help me out with that, coming up with topics. No, let's see. Too early for Christmas music, not till Thanksgiving. I say you do what you got to do right now. You're listening to Christmas music. I am watching, my mom and I have been sharing, we're watching Jacob. Ooh, Mom, help me out. What's the name of the YouTuber? We're watching this guy who is reviewing Hamilton, and he's going through it song by song. He does a video for each song, all 43 he's going to go through. And he looks at it from a music production standpoint, which I've seen lots and lots of like vocalists react, and I've seen elders react, and I've seen a lot of people react to Hamilton, but he's going at it as music production. Like, oh my gosh, that's a different snare drum. Oh my gosh, they only have one guitar player. I wonder how they're doing this. Oh, I hear a different kind of piano. And people are telling him in the comments how it's done, because like I know from watching the drummer from Hamilton, the Broadway musical, that he had 5 snares. His drum kit was set up kind of Neil Peart style with 5 snares. That's why the snare sounds different all the time. He thought they were playing with a track, and I knew that the drummer was firing some of the sound effects, but now he was saying today they actually had a DJ, so that when there was like record scratching and stuff in Hamilton, that was actually done by the DJ the person that scratches records. And so that was really fun. So Mom, if you can think of the name, if you're still here, If you haven't got distracted and done something with your life, let me know what his name is. It's Jacob something. If anybody else is seeing it, watching it from a music production standpoint is really super intriguing. I'm enjoying every video. He's putting out like one a day for 43 days. So it's going to be cool. Let's see, who do we have here? Oh, we got Jimmy. Just put on Elvis LP. I guess it's too early for Christmas music. Oh, it isn't too early. Well, yeah, because Elvis did Christmas songs, right? Yeah, and that's the roots of rock and roll. Like there is no rock and roll without rhythm and blues and Elvis. So awesome. I say go for it. Anything that cheers you up. Oh, Jess. Hi. Here we go. My main account. I didn't realize I was on the Arcade Snow Dogs account. That was you, Jess. I was like, I miss you. And I was thinking, okay, I know Loki the Siberian and Uncle Yukon. Which channel is Arcade Snow Dogs? Well, I hope I only said nice things. Talking behind your back and you were right here. I've done that where I end up showing up something on my Diana Beale channel. So yeah, I totally get it, how that happens. Love you, Jess. I miss you. So hopefully if we get a trailer like yours, or probably something smaller, I don't know, our truck's not very big, we'll be able to come around. I need to go to Michigan so bad. So bad need to go to Michigan. All right. I've heard of Fry's. I don't know where they are. It's right down by Boeing in Renton. It's right by Boeing. So I think we can find Fry's. It's got a giant sign on it. Unless they've gone out of business. Travel to Canada or Michigan. Yeah, as soon as they open the border, do once a month. Or once a month live feeds. Yeah, that's a great idea, Crystal, actually. I think it'd be a good balance. I think doing them once a week was what was hurting my channel. I think once a month is a reasonable amount to ask people to devote to a live stream. Dejan, it would be nice to get back to gigging and making everyone smile and get people together again. Happiness is so needed. I know. I guess in Florida, they're still gigging. When I was in high school, my guitar player, I played bass, he played guitar. He is now a bass player exclusively, and he is also a DJ for like weddings and stuff. Anyway, as an adult, he was just telling a story. He was in Florida listening to live music, so excited to hear live music again. And he was, I think, in the hot tub with some other people, and they were talking about Seattle, and they were saying, you see the news? Seattle's burning, like Seattle's on fire, and it's really bad. And he said, no, I mean, Seattle has a lot of homeless problem, and so it's hard to walk down the street. Like the sidewalk is just covered with tents and stuff, but it's okay. And they said, no, you're wrong. We saw the news. Seattle's burning. So while I'm here, and I've got some Seattleites on to confirm with me, the things you see on the news are the same clips over and over, and the period of time with civil unrest has passed. And though we do still have an occasional march or two, things have calmed down a whole lot, and it's like a normal place to live again. Well, as normal as it ever was. And yes, we do have a very profound homeless problem in Seattle, and I'm hopefully that they can get housing for those folks and solve that problem. But Seattle is not burning, and no matter how many times they play the same video over and over again, it doesn't mean Seattle's on fire. We're fine. We have a lot of rain. It's really hard to keep it on fire, no matter what someone from Florida tells you. I'm glad. Yeah, Crystal, I think it has been a good talk. I'm smiling more, that's for sure. All you were getting was this face from me. But of course, I had a mask on, so you couldn't tell. I just watched the pilot of Scrubs again. Not that I'm recommending the show, but I just saw the pilot, and there's an actual line in there where Turk's a surgeon, a surgical student, really. And he tells his best friend, yeah, I'm afraid when I'm doing surgery. You just can't tell because I'm wearing a mask. But underneath the mask, I'm like this. I thought it was so fitting for the times we live in. I look like I'm fine, but under my mask, I'm like this. It just fits. But yes, I want to be back gigging. Thank you very much, and making people happy again. Yeah, it would be good. It would be so good. This thing. Oh, the neighbor has candy canes on their fence already? See, it's not too early for dollar store candy canes. Starts with an R, that's all I got. Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to find his channel. You're right, it does start with an R. I thought it was Jacob something, but it starts with an R. Gone to the Snow Dogs. Yep, your old gaming channel. I'm trying shorts on the channel now, so bringing it back. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so those of you who've watched Hamilton, this is my friend Jess. And you know the song Nonstop? That song was written about Jess. Because Jess is nonstop. How many channels do you have, Jess? I think she has 7 last time I counted, but she's probably started a channel since I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, she has an amazing work ethic, and I don't believe she sleeps. I've never seen her asleep. I don't think it's a thing. And I admire her, and she's been a wonderful friend and a great mentor. So shout out to Jess. For those of you who are just fans of Jess, you're missing out. She's a great person too. Jess just hit on her Gone to the Snow Dogs channel. She just hit 1 million subscribers in her 11 years on YouTube. It's awesome. We are so happy for her. Yeah, your trailer's small, Jess. I think I have to have you in smaller. My husband has like a Ford Ranger, so we have to get even a smaller trailer. I'm trying to find something that's under 3,000 pounds wet. So hopefully, but that's just between us. No one else should know. They're just going to charge me more for the trailer. Fry's is near Gene Coulon Park. Yes. Yeah, it is. So if we're by Boeing, hopefully we can hit Fry's. Are they in the new shopping city by Boeing? All the multicolored buildings. Yes, absolutely. They are. That was an area that was just sort of like what? Like Reed's an apartment building or something, and now it's like an entire shopping center. Dijon, that's cool. Most of my family's in Florida too, but they said they've been staying, between all the storms. Yeah, Florida has been having just one storm after another storm after it's just been hitting them. Yeah, Charles Trippy lives in Florida, and so I've always got my eye on it to see what's going on. Vicki and I went to Florida in June of 2019, 2018? Anyway, we went to Florida 2019, and I hope I get to go again. I really liked it there. Yeah, Seattle's good. Yeah, we're all safe. We were all always safe. It was one particular neighborhood where all the unrest was, and that neighborhood's never safe anyway. So it was probably safer when it was full of cops and protesters, actually. And I have to say that at the beginning of the protest, like, I was all in, like 100% behind it. It devolved into something weird after the after they moved the line and they gave up the police precinct. But before that time, it was really a positive thing. So I just want to say, guess what I just got recommended? Is Jacob Restitude, I think is his name. It just came up in my record. I just got a recommendation for his video. I'm going to get his name. Who's doing the Hamilton breakdowns. You've really got to check those out. Jacob Restituto, Restituto. He only has 12,000 subscribers. I can't believe his channel is that tiny because he is killing it right now. So you have got to check him out. So check him out. Yeah, Seattle is safe. Mealer just came out and they had a great time. They didn't have any trouble. So no problems. Hello from Mexico. Daniel, welcome. Play some Joy Division bass riff. That would cheer me up. I'm writing it down because I don't know a Joy Division bass riff off the top of my head. But I'll find one. All right. On to the Snow Dogs. Boy, I am behind. 3 minutes behind on these. There's a lot of channels. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, and you're working on shorts. I haven't even gotten into the shorts yet. And don't forget the podcast. You also have a podcast, the CC Mouse podcast she does with RFS Dan. You'll want to check that out wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. It's my favorite thing. Wet trailer. It's always wet in Seattle. I know. I've watched so many YouTube videos about trailers, even though I've never owned one. And we owned a camper for a while, but I've never had a trailer. Oh, the camper. We went camping one weekend and it was raining continuously like it is right now, just like buckets and buckets of rain. Our friends were in tents and one of them had brought an air mattress, so it was floating above the water, but the other one had brought a foam mattress, so it was soaking up the water. And then we got super sick in the camper. And what we'd figured out was that black mold had grown up behind the walls, and when it got wet, it activated all the mold. So we were like going to get brain damage or whatever and started puking in the camper. So everyone had to go home. And now we never camp on Memorial Day weekend. Not in Seattle. You don't camp on Memorial Day weekend. It's a bad idea in a rainforest. A wet trailer is a trailer that is got the water on board, you know. Anyway. Used to be Boeing buildings. Oh, that's what it was down there? I was wondering. Let's see, Loki, you want a half ton for anything more than a pop-up. Those mid-sized pickups will get blown all over the road. Yeah, I know. I know. But Jess does so well in her little Jeep. Our Jeep's little. Maybe they're kind of big. I just want a teardrop. That's all I want. But, you know, my husband thinks I need a shower and a place to go to the bathroom. So we're still debating back and forth. I keep telling him to get a bigger truck. Size weight trailer, 3/4 ton would be fine. A half ton would be fine. Thank you for your good advice, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Hey, I have made it. Oh, no, another. Let's see. A Grand Cherokee is equivalent to a half ton pickup. Oh. Kind of like I don't know yeah, because I can't tell on video how big a dog is. It's kind of hard to tell how big a trailer is on video, isn't it? There's an R-Pod that rents in Mukilteo, which is down the road from us. And so I've been thinking about renting the R-Pod, but I think we'd have to rent a truck too to pull it. Have a great night, Di. Thanks for a great live stream. Crystal, I appreciate you. Thank you for being an awesome person and an awesome influence in my life. You always have something positive to say on Facebook or anywhere I run into you, and I really appreciate that. So everybody, we're going to have to keep our chin up. I think we should let Crystal go have some dinner, and I should get off since I have to be on Zoom in less than an hour. But I am so glad you guys are here. I'm just, you know, still kind of bummed, you know, with everything that's going on. So I needed a live stream to cheer me up. And you guys have been highly successful. We got to talk a little bit about music. We got to talk about what's going on with our newish lockdown, our newest version. Hey, Dijon, do not be a stranger. Make sure that I hear more from you in the comments and stuff, and we'll keep talking. Also, in the community page on YouTube. I want to make sure we're still in contact. And I have a Real Beal Facebook page. Make sure that you're part of that. I'm going to try to be posting on that more. This is fun. Nice to chat, Marie. Really, I appreciate you. You've been such an awesome support through the years, and just keep up the good work. You know, I just love having you around. Hey, Uncle Yukon, rent a camper or at least go to a camper trailer sales place and compare sizes. Yeah, that I need to do that. I need to do it in person. You know, it's COVID. Everything's online, so I can't get any good perspective. Have a great night. Great to see you and your smile. Hey, Loki, thank you for making me smile, Steve. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the mods, right? We hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. This too shall pass eventually, right? It can't go on forever. It can't. There's no way. We've got too much technology. You'll be around? Thank you. Yes, don't be a stranger. Hey, Mom. Good night, Mom. I love you. We'll get to Chicago yet. All the things that we want to do. Awesome. Big internet hugs to everybody. We need to play some music and do a jam session. That would be really fun. I don't know about the delay. So if you can think of a situation where the delay won't be too bad. I think Zoom will delay pretty badly, but I don't know. I haven't tried it. So I can't really say, can I? And I know, doesn't it cut out everybody but one of the people that's talking? I don't know. Because I think those videos where you see people and they're all on Zoom are kind of faked. like they record the sound and then everyone's lip syncing. But what do I know? I'm just getting through this thing. So, all right. So everybody, good night. Thank you for being here. Stay tough, stay strong, don't get sick, have fun, and I will see you on Tuesday. I've got that video. We're going to talk about that controversial destruction of a musical instrument. It's a horrible thing. So we will talk more, okay? You guys have a great night. I love you. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you soon.